Alright, good morning Pro Golf Nation. We're here in the fitting studio. I got my man Smalls helping me out today with a little fun test we're going to do with some drivers. Strange brew in hand, so we're ready to go this morning. What we're going to be looking at today is driver shaft fittings. You know, so often we get caught up in, I'm a stiff flex, I'm an X flex. Really and truthfully, with a mid-handicapper like Smalls here, how much difference does it make? So we're going to do a test today. Going to try to give you guys a real test. So we're going to be using, of course, the only ball in golf, Titleist Pro V1s, all 3 shots. We've got the new Titleist TS2. Today's, we're going to do it at 10.5 degree in the standard setting. All right, first shaft we're going to start out with is the one that everybody's using right now, the Tensai 55 gram stiff. We're going to start out with that. Grant, what's your handicap nowadays, bud?
Anywhere from 8 to 10.
All right, so pretty good player. I've gotten to play a couple rounds with him. We are using, just in case anybody wants to see this, this is the new Ballflight system by Optishot. We've had this for probably about 2 months now, and I've been really impressed with it. If you're a launch monitor guy, but you don't have the $25,000 for a TrackMan or Flight Scope, I've worked with both of them, and this thing is holding up with those guys at about half the price. So, Garrett, Trevor at Optishot, way to go, guys. Awesome machine. Looking forward to it. All right, we're going to get started. Here we go.
All right.
First swing of the day. A little tuggish, all right. And Grant, right now you're playing a Titleist. Which head?
I'm playing the. I'm playing the 15.
Okay.
15 D2.
All right.
Second shot. I threw that one a little bit better. Still a little pull.
Back towards the target line, though.
Hit that with a little more solid.
Mm-hmm. How does that shaft feel to you? Just at address and then going through the swing itself.
It feels good. It's a. It feels kind of standard to what I typically hit, which
okay.
I don't notice a lot of difference in it, but once I release the club head and everything, it feels like it gets through the ball pretty good. Not a lag or a snap or anything to that nature. So.
Okay.
All right, third shot right here. Cut back to the middle.
Yep, probably the best on-target shot of the 3. So if you were to rate those 3 strikes with the stiff Tensai shaft, 10.5 degree, you know, first, second, third, how do you feel like the strike was?
I feel like it was pretty good. Probably a 7 or 8 out of 10 as far as you know, as how I hit it. As far as the shaft goes, you know, I never felt like I was losing the club head or anything to that nature. I felt like I was staying with the ball. It was true to what I was typically swinging. I swing at about a 100 to 110 swing speed. So that's where my typical swing speed is. So this was it was a good feel for me.
Okay, good deal. I'm gonna give you the camera here. We're gonna swap this setting up. So like I said, we're gonna hit the same head, same ball every time. The only changing variable in this is gonna be the shaft. So we're gonna take away this stiff flex shaft that Grant's used to playing with, and we're gonna give him a 45.5 inch regular flex. And we're gonna go with the Kuro Rage 50 gram regular flex. So let's see what that does to our numbers. Again, we're going to stay in the A1 standard setting so that we get a true test of the differences. And again, brag on Trevor and Garrett and the guys at Optishot. I'm able to come in here just like on the big boys that cost basically the cost of a new car and add in another page. So A was our stiff flex shaft, B will be our regular flex shaft. Again, Garrett, Trevor, great job guys, loving this machine. Alright, again we'll hit the 3 Titleist Pro V1s, this time going to a 50 gram regular flex shaft. At the end we'll look at the numbers.
Again, a little bit of a tug. It may just be an address issue right now, but fairly good impact.
Any feeling of difference in the shaft as far as the kick point or the whip?
Yeah, I felt a little, to me it felt a little stiffer in the hands. It had a little bit more flex at the bottom.
Okay.
That could just be a first swing thing, but I feel like I'll know a little bit more after this next swing.
Guys, one of the things here that I really wanted to point out with this shaft test is a lot of club fitters out there will tell you that if you go lighter in the shaft, then you should increase club head speed. We'll see if those numbers ring true later. It's probably the best swing of the day, I think, so far.
Definitely.
Got a draw on it. Good deal. All right.
Again, that one felt a little bit better than the first one did. Obviously, the swing probably helped that, but I felt like the club head really released at the ball really well at that point. Felt like I had a little bit more, as I like to call, whip or just snap at the ball. So I feel like this has a little bit more action at the bottom of the swing where the club head is. Third swing.
Okay.
Little low hook.
All right.
Apparently I'm pretty consistent with that today.
Hey, if you know your game, play it. All right, let's set up for our third shot. A1. This.
As you can see, the golf club's come a long way.
Yes, it has. We can grab one out of Bill's office here in a minute to show you the difference between drivers of old and drivers today. The scary thing is the new one, February 1st is right around the corner. We'll have the official launch of the Callaway Epic and Epic Sub-Zero and the TaylorMade M5 and M6. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure and click the thumbs up, subscribe right down here below, and be looking for those videos as we'll do some comparisons. Comparison 3 here, again, we're doing the same setting, but we've gone to the Project X Even Flow X Flex shaft. This will also be the heaviest one Grant hits today at 65 grams. And just remember, a lot of club fitters out there are going to tell you that because it weighs more, he's not going to swing it as fast. Let's see if those numbers ring true at the end. Grant, quick question. Just going, does color of shaft mean anything to you standing over the ball? Do you?
It's definitely a difference. I was noticing that just as I was addressing and taking some practice swings. Definitely, it catches my eye a whole lot different from that side of it. But that's what they always used to tell me playing ball. You wear white cleats, it makes you look like you're running faster. So this looks like I can swing it pretty fast.
All right, let's see. Man. Interesting there, we put him in the heaviest, stiffest shaft we have, and we also saw the least amount of ball movement so far as on target. Now some of that might have been swing. I don't know, you tell me, Grant.
I felt that the first 2 clubs had a little bit of give in it based on my swing. This one, I think because of the weight, it feels like there's not a lot of flex to it or a give to it. I personally like that, but that's probably a personal preference. You know, that doesn't mean the numbers won't show different, but this seems to be like you're swinging, you know, something that's not going to move on you or bounce around on you very much. It seems like it's going to stay true to what you're doing. So we'll see if that holds true.
Something tells me he's going to love the Lady Flex shaft. Another good swing, right on target with a little fall to the right. Not bad numbers.
Again, I think the stiffness for myself is allowing it to stay a little more on target. I'm not getting over it, and some of it maybe as I'm swinging and getting through it, it's not kind of making adjustments as I go. But this to me has felt the best so far in my comfort zone. Pop up.
Yep. See a little too high?
Maybe I may have just gotten under it a little bit. Okay. Stay behind it.
Let's hit one more. Again, this is going to seem like a video of bragging on Trevor and Garrett and the guys at Optishot, but help me remember the third shot on the X Flex needs to be deleted, and that way we can get a true test. Good strike.
Stayed on top of that one a little bit, kept it low. May have raised up myself on that a little bit, but still felt like I hit it pretty well.
Okay. Okay. All right, so this time we're going back to a Kuro Rage, this time in a 50-gram A-Flex shaft, formerly known as Senior. I love what a lot of these companies have done, going away from Senior Flex or Lady Flex to a Light Flex and Auxiliary Flex, I think is what the A-Flex stands for. You know, one of the things when I was in the golf business and doing a lot of club fitting, teenagers, especially young teenagers, would fit into a Ladies Flex from a club fitting standpoint, but if you tell a 13-year-old he's swinging a Lady Flex shaft, they don't want to do it. They feel like they need to be in a regular stiff, where now it's just Light Flex, 50 gram, that kind of thing. So I love what the companies have done just in changing a name. So at initial setup, Grant, how's that feel?
It's definitely definitely a little bit more flimsy.
Yeah.
It's it feels like a Ladies or Senior Flex for sure, but we'll just see what happens.
There you go.
The ball, so.
Big difference going from a 65-gram X Flex to a 50-gram.
No doubt, a
right.
major difference in approach
and
practice.
Let's see what the numbers tell us. Interesting enough, probably the first ball he's missed off target to the right with this club. We'll kind of talk about that later. Not a bad swing though.
Not a bad impact at all. Felt like I probably had a good swing on that. Stayed steady and smooth through it, so try to keep it on target without trying to get after it yet.
Another ball that launched on target, but did finish 41 yards right.
Yeah, I felt like that had to do with a little bit of the bend of the flex and get away from me just a little bit as I picked up the pace just a little bit on that, I feel.
There we go. On target.
Seems like it had the greatest miss left and right. Now it stayed on track pretty well. Just had a two-way miss versus a one-way miss.
Okay. That's a great point you bring up there, Grant, because look, guys, when we're playing golf and we're out on the course, what we're worried about is, yes, everybody's trying to gear up for a little bit more distance, you know, tailor-mades. Everybody gets faster this year. Callaway's jailbreak technology. Everybody's faster. Everybody's trying to get faster, get longer. And yes, we're gonna, you know, we want you to figure out a way to get 2, 3, 4, 5 extra yards. But if it's 5 yards in the rough, or if you're standing over that tight fairway and you don't know if it's going left or right, is it any good? To me, shot dispersion is a huge thing when you're doing club fitting that you've got to stick with. So, all right, last shaft of the day we're going to look at is the Light Flex, and again we're going to go with the Curo Rage. This one is a 40 gram, so again, like we talked about earlier, conventional wisdom says Grant's going to swing this one the fastest of the ones that we've swung so far today. Just because it's lighter, you should be able to create more speed, right? We'll see.
Definitely lighter. As you pick it up, you feel a little bit more head weight, is what I feel. Feel like you're going to throw the hammer at it a little bit. So we'll see how this feels coming off.
Little right leaker. Again, launch direction 1.3 left, but obviously finishes way right.
Felt good. Felt like I had good impact on that one. Again, definitely feel like almost you're swinging a rope with this at my club speed. So we'll just see what we come up with.
Again, very similar shape shots to what we've seen with the A-Flex and L-Flex for Grant. On target swings that tend to leak a little bit right.
Again, it's consistent with what we did on the first shot. Just feels like when we swing, you get a little lag with it, and that's to be expected with the flex of the shaft. But interesting to see the swing speed.
And he's tried to get over one, I think, and did it. So again, there we're talking about shot dispersion. As we'll look at the numbers here in a minute, big shot dispersions with the two lighter flex shafts. The other thing you notice with Grant's swing is there is a lot of quickness at the top from transition from the top of the backswing to downswing. You know, a lot of times when we do club fitting for shafts and drivers especially, it's more about tempo than necessarily club head speed a lot of time. I've seen a lot of guys with club head speeds that are a little bit lower that will fit into a stiffer shaft because of the tempo and the transition at the top. So that's something you definitely want to talk with your club fitter about, is how's my tempo match me up for the shaft that we're looking at. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's get in here and look at the data. So again, Club A, if you will, was the stiff flex. As you'll see, Grant's average carry distance 235, total distance 256, ball speed 143 for a club head speed of 103. Club head speed was pretty right on, 102.9, 103.3, 103.8. So again, you know, as he said earlier, thinks he's pretty much probably a 100 to 110 mile an hour club head speed, looks pretty much dead on. Launch angle average is 12.3 and a backspin average of 22.31. The interesting thing here is we see one of them is at 17.49 on the backspin. So that's a very low spinner. That's one that's going to go out and just kind of fall out of the air. So we just got to be careful of that, and it happened to be the shortest of the three that he hit. So we move him into the regular flex shaft. Let's see what happens to the numbers. Bigger dispersion in the carry distance. Some of that may have been strike, but we see an average of 233.5, so we've lost 2 yards. And club head speed on pretty much the same weight shaft was 104, about the same. Ball speed 143.6, about the same. 12.9 degrees of launch and 2300 spin, but you see the lowest spinner here is a 1950, so the spin is a little bit better for him as far as a consistency standpoint there. But we see the big distance in the, or big difference in the carry yardage, because we had much bigger differences in launch angle. So we go from 10.6 all the way up to 15.1 just in 3 shots. So why do we think that is? A lot of it's going to be kick point in the shaft, okay? Where is that shaft kicking? What is it doing to the face of impact? Some of it, no offense,
yep,
is a 10 handicap.
That's right.
We're not delivering the same strike every time. But that's why I wanted to do this, do this test with an average Joe just like us playing golf, and not somebody that's going to come in here and tattoo the pinhole of the geometric center every time. All right, now we go to the X-Flex shaft. This one was the heaviest shaft of the day and also the stiffest, and we see the numbers, average numbers, if you see here, 210 and 223 go way, way, way down. All right, why is that? Average spin rate is the highest. Again, a lot of it is transition. Just because an X-Flex shaft gets put into the club doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to automatically take all your spin off. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's go to the 2 light flex shafts and see if our club head speed and ball speed jump through the roof like we're expecting, right? Because club fitters tell you, let's go lighter shaft and you'll get more speed. On the auxiliary flex or A-flex, we see 239 and 258 on the carry and total distance. The variance, though, we see is very high, 237 to 241. So what do we see on club head speed? 102.5, or almost a full mile per hour slower than anything else we've swung so far. Ball speed stays pretty similar, and the spin rate goes into the 2700 range. For Grant, we want him in that mid 2000 range. We want the launch angle to be probably around 14 to optimize his carry distances. So why did that ball speed, or swing speed, I'm sorry, why did that swing speed go down, Grant?
The swing speed is probably more to control the shaft. It was probably more feeling that I was losing control wherever I brought it back and coming through. I needed to slow down just a little bit to maybe let the club catch up with the shaft, or the head catch up with the shaft. And I feel like that probably was more trying to control it versus where the other shafts, where I felt like the shaft and the head stayed together pretty well. I could just go get it. That's probably that's the way I felt about it when I swung.
That's definitely a thing, and he said he said a word that really jumped out to me there. I feel like I lost connection. All right, a lot of times when good players or high swing speed players or quick tempo players will go to a lighter flex shaft like this, they will actually lose where the club head is. They can't feel the shaft. They can't feel the weight of the shaft, so the timing, the pull of the swing, if you will, gets lost. Let's see if the same thing happens on the L-flex or light flex shaft. Again, we see 242 on the carry, but big shot dispersions. Big left, big right, as you see right here. How are we going to play golf when we could hit it in the right rough or over somebody's house left in 3 swings? Again, 12.4 on the launch, 2500 on the spin is actually pretty good, but we see a big variance again. We go from 15.88 all the way to 3000. Again, club head speed, 102.5. Light flex shafts do not mean more club head speed. If I was fitting Grant today, I would probably fit him into a medium to lightweight stiff flex shaft. We would play around with some head settings, because what I think we're going to see from Grant is his contact seems to lean maybe a little bit more high toe. All right, so his sweet spot, because of the way he's delivering the club, is not geometric center. It's actually high toe. More videos for later on down the line. Got to tease you on those, but appreciate you joining us today. I hope you got something out of this video. If nothing else, I want you to kind of see some of the nuances, if you will, of club fitting for drivers, shafts. If you're going to go out and spend $300, $400, $500 on a driver, please take the time to find an experienced club fitter in your area. Set up one of these sessions, hit a lot of shots before you go out and pick something up off the rack. If you've liked what you've seen today, we're going to have a lot more coming, especially in the near future with all the new companies launching their new clubs. So hit that thumbs up, subscribe down below, and if you would, even think about hitting the bell there so that you'll be notified when we come out with new videos. That's it for today. Look forward to seeing Pro Golf Nation again real soon.